Now, if you guys missed out on any stimulus money, you may be able to claim it right now. There is a deadline that you have to take action by. Now, the federal government has confirmed that hundreds of thousands of people are missing out on unclaimed relief checks. Here is an update on tax credits. In a push to ensure that more low-income families get a chance to receive enhanced child tax credit payments for the year 2021, the Biden administration, the Treasury Department, are promoting an online portal to help families claim the child tax credit benefits without having to file a tax return. Now, the free tool was introduced in the fall of 2021 and used by more than 115,000 families to claim around $440 million in tax benefits, but it was inactivated for this year's tax season to encourage taxpayers to file for returns, including any benefits owed to them. Available across mobile devices and on desktop, the portal can be found online. So when President Biden enacted the American Rescue Plan in 2021, the child tax credit was expanded for one more year, making it the largest U.S. child tax credit ever, and providing most working families with $3,000 per child under 18 and $3,600 per child 6 and younger. Now, the child tax credit benefit was enhanced for 1 year only, and without further expansion or the adoption of President Biden's Build Back Better framework this year, this credit will revert back to its original maximum amount of $2,000 per eligible child. The return to pre-crisis payments will certainly have a significant impact on families, many of whom are already struggling to provide basic needs for their children. For the 2021 tax year, minimum earnings and requirements were waived. The child tax credit, making the credit available to a greater number of recipients, the American Rescue Plan, also made the credit fully refundable and provided tax credit options for families to take half of the credit in 6 monthly payments. Those eligible can use the portal to submit information to receive the remaining portion of their credit. For those eligible and who have not received any of the child tax credit payments, there has been an outreach movement by groups and government agencies to better communicate eligibility and registration concerns. A significant amount of families did not know if they were eligible for the credit or were wary to register through government portals or digital platforms. Now, taxing the wealthy is a big topic in Washington these days. President Biden recently proposed in his 2023 annual budget a so-called billionaire minimum income tax that would increase levies on the country's wealthiest households. Under the plan, people with a net worth of $100 million or more would face a 20% tax on their full income, including unrealized depreciation. But one proposal to raise taxes on high earners making $400,000 and up a year could help Social Security's funding problems. Social Security is funded through payroll taxes, which in 2022 apply to wages of up to $147,000. Both the employer and the employee contribute 6.2% of wages up to that income threshold, which is adjusted annually. A recent congressional proposal seeks to apply that payroll tax on wages of $400,000 and up, among other changes, to shore up the program. The clock is ticking for lawmakers to make changes to ensure the program can continue to pay benefits as promised. The Social Security Board of Trustees estimates the fund could be depleted in 2034, at which point 78% of benefits will be payable. To shore up the system, leaders face a choice of cutting benefits through changes, like raising the retirement age.
The focus should have been the tipping point for when retail had to stop eating inflation. A lot of the inflation had not been felt or seen, in part because it was at a level where it was almost hidden from the consumer. But it turned out to be just hidden from the consumer because the companies hadn't reported. So, David, my takeaway is that it's been simmering and simmering and simmering, and it boiled over in March and then really went nuts in April. And because the companies didn't report until early May, we just really didn't know how bad inflation was. Mm-hmm. It's much worse than we thought.
What about the demand side? Are consumers reallocating their spending,
Very much so.
Are they slowing their spending?
Well, I think that they're spending at a different place than where we thought they would.
So reallocating.
Yeah, I mean, look, they're buying luggage. There was a weird kind of existential moment in the Target call where Brian Cornell says they're buying sunscreen. And now, I mean, I don't want Brian Cornell, serious businessman. But what he's basically saying, I think, by that is they're not doing what we thought they're doing. They are done fixing up their house. Carl makes that point very clear. They're just buying little things now, and they're traveling, luggage. So what people are doing is doing something that we should have, I think, maybe presumed, which is that they're seeing the world. They're doing things with their lives because they've been locked down. They're not trying to spend even more time at home. They want to get on the road. Phil LeBeau would certainly tell you that, too. And anyone who's flown knows that you can just add a zero to wherever you go with the airline tickets.
You mean the fare?
Oh,
and people will pay it? I mean,
I think there's still not demand destruction there because people are just so happy to get away. And they use Airbnb, so it's not like you're getting caught with a hotel. But I am just shocked at the number of people who were misjudged. People wanted to go away, and where they go does not add up to retail. They just aren't. They're off the. They're not going in the aisles. I mean, unless you have a contractor who's trying to finish the project that started during it.
Well, Jim, when this week began, you and I were together on Monday, I believe it was.
2020. The increase was the first after 5 consecutive years of decline. However, when looking at a more complete supplemental of poverty, which factored in streams of income like stimulus payments, it was found that the number of Americans in poverty actually decreased. The founder on the Center of Budget and Policy Priorities said the decrease from stimulus checks was proof that the federal government can help poverty levels. Now, Congress did pass already 5 bipartisan crisis response bills last year, totaling close to $3.5 trillion and signed into law by the former president. Now, though some of the federal aid last year was delayed for reasons from wrangling over cost to problems of distribution, President Biden's current economic plan extends a tax credit for families with children, which is seen as a strategy for reducing childhood poverty and its long-term consequences. For more than 8 years, Colorado Senator Michael Bennet has been trying to expand the child tax credit and help lift kids out of poverty. The maximum total expanded credit was worth around $3,600 per child, 5 and under. And now senior advocacy groups are continuing to urge congressional lawmakers to pass legislation that provide a one-time stimulus check of $1,400.
Because we have a world-class, highly skilled, and highly committed workers. I urge Samsung and Stellantis and any company investing in the United States to enter into partnerships with our most highly skilled and dedicated and engaged workers you can find anywhere in the world, American Union members. Stellantis knows how much benefit comes from a successful relationship with the union in America. They have a national agreement with my friend Ray Curry, the United Auto Workers. For every joint venture that manufactures electric vehicle batteries would be made stronger by collective bargaining relationships with American unions. We also have outstanding, skilled, dedicated union building and construction trades workers ready to build a new Samsung facility in Texas. So let's work together to make this happen and to get that plant built on time and on budget, safely and efficiently. Because union labor means high quality work